Hi everyone, welcome back to What It's Like In. I'm Tom, and today we're going to have a look at Laureles, an area in Medellin. If you Google what the best place to stay is in Medellin, you'll probably get one of two answers, depending on who's giving you the answer. One is El Poblado, which I made a video on. You can check that out if you want. The other one is Laureles. And Laureles is typically billed as the more laid-back, less touristy area, and I have to say I agree with that assessment. But instead of talking about it from my apartment, why don't we go out and have a look at what it's like in Laureles, Medellin. Laureles is first of all a lush green suburb. It's much more residential when compared to Poblado. There's tons of little coffee shops, tiendas, local restaurants, and of course, panaderias. Colombians love their bread. If you're planning to visit Medellin for longer than a week or work remotely from here, you'll probably enjoy staying in Laureles. It's just a bit more inhabitable and less of a conveyor belt of tourists. A bit easier to get to know your neighbors or the waiter in your favorite coffee bar. One downside to the area is that if you want to take the metro to get around town, it's a bit of a trek, 20 minutes or so from the center of Laureles. Of course, you could also just take the bus, not the most comfortable option, but very cheap, a metered taxi, or an Uber, which is very affordable and safe. Speaking of safety, this is not something to be overly concerned about. Like Poblado, this area is policed quite heavily and it generally doesn't feel unsafe. During the day, you can typically walk around without a hassle. At night, I try to be a bit more careful, especially near the two metro stations of Laureles, as robberies do occur. The advice is pretty much like anywhere else, just keep your wits about you, and if anything should happen, just cooperate. As Colombians say, no dar papaya, don't let your guard down. Other than that, living and working remotely from Laureles is very agreeable. Prices are cheap, the internet speeds in most furnished apartments are quite good, and you'll have access to most things you could want. There's also a relatively large mall nearby called Unicentro, where you can get some clothes, kitchenware, electronics, and so on. It also has a very decent gym. It will set you back around 15 USD per month. For dinner, Circular Cuatro has some great options. Fidelina has a really pretty rustic roof terrace, and there are also places like Ina and Salud Pan, very popular among tourists, where they have lots of healthy salads and plant-based burgers. If you're looking for some more traditionally Colombian fare, try Mondongo's, a chain restaurant that's also located in La Setenta. They've got great bandeja paisa. Think of a full plate including steak, ground beef, fried pork, rice, beans and egg, avocado, and more. It'll set you straight. At night, Carrera 70, commonly referred to as La Setenta, is the main hub for drinking, dancing, and socializing. The road is lined with bars and clubs, as well as street vendors selling Colombian snacks such as empanadas and perros. La Charcu is a relaxed bar, ideal for sipping on a cocktail, and if you're looking for a more active night out, check out La Tienda de la Setenta or Oye Bonita. Both quintessential Colombian bars with lots of colored lights and reggaeton. They're hard to miss, especially after dark. Now before I end this video, there's one more thing I want to mention, and that's around language. English really isn't spoken as often here as it is in El Poblado. I saw an American tourist earlier today trying to settle the bill for the breakfast he just had, and he got a little bit upset at the waitress for not understanding English. So he basically stormed off, and the personnel kind of laughed at him and his ignorance after he had left. Now personally, I think that if you don't even want to try and engage in a different language when you're traveling, then, why cross the border in the first place? But if that's the kind of holiday you want, fair enough. In that case, I'd say make it a little bit easier on yourself and stay in El Poblado. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all next time.